serving the Republic of the Philippines for more than 75 years. Ito po ang Presidential Broadcast Service.
Headlines ngayon, sports news, magazine, celebrity, entertainment, interviews, music, and more. All in one. All in one. Dadalhin sa inyo ng mas pinaganda, mas komprehensibo, mas malaman. Radyo Pilipinas 2, 918 AM. Bawat kaganapan, saan man ang laban, anumang pangyayari sa mundo ng palakasan, ibabalita dito sa Sports Roundup sa Radyo Pilipinas 2, 918 AM.
Magandang hapon Pilipinas, 13 minutes after 3 p.m. ngayong araw ng Biyernes, July 28, 2023. Ito po ang ating Sports News Roundup dito sa Radyo Pilipinas 2 Sports. My name is John Mogol and we are live 918 kHz sa AM band at sa facebook.com/rp2 918. In today's sports headlines, Filipinas take on world number 12 Norway in their final group stage game with a final 16 ticket on the line. Football world showers Filipinas with love after historic win in the FIFA Women's World Cup. Philippine boxers enter India training camp to prep for the Asian Games. Japan's Kurashiki Ablay set up a final showdown with Creamline in the PVL Invitational Conference. Back to football, Argentina draws with South Africa. Nigeria upsets Australia as race to the round of 16 heats up. Ricardo Bauernfeind becomes the youngest Tour de France Femme stage winner. And finally, Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford size each other one last time before Sunday's mega showdown. Those are the headlines. Now the news in full. The Philippine women's national football team will be facing its biggest match by far in Philippine football history as the Filipinas battle Norway on Sunday for a chance to advance to the round of 16 of the FIFA Women's World Cup. Kickoff is set at 3 p.m. Philippine time at Eden Park in Auckland. From Auckland, New Zealand, here is Aaron Bayato with a match preview.
This Sunday will be a historic araw ng laban for our Filipinas as they aim to sustain history, create milestones, and gain more attention to Philippine football as they battle the Norwegian women's football team over at Eden Park here in Auckland at the conclusion of Group A play of the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. After that scintillating 1-0 win against co-host New Zealand last Tuesday in Wellington, the Philippines gave itself a chance to qualify for the knockout stage in just its FIFA World Cup debut, albeit tough to do on paper. All the Filipinas must do is to win against the 12th best team in the world in Norway, and they are true. Despite an ongoing conflict in the Norway women's football camp, the Filipinas must watch out on two superstars. Ada Hegerberg of Lyon, a six-time Champions League winner and 2013 Euro runner-up, part with the Norway women's team, and Caroline Hansen of FC Barcelona.
A bunch of world-class players, they're a fantastic team, and you don't get to be at the top of the world. They're ranked 12, but they have been in the top 10 basically the last 20 or 30 years. So, they've got an amazing pedigree and culture around women's football. They started a league. Those Scandinavian countries around Norway, including Norway, have had women's leagues for 30, 40 years when no one else really cared about women's football. So when you've got that history, you've also got that little bit of accountability and pressure, which they do. But there's no doubt that they're a good team and they're a top team, and that's why they were the favourite to win the group initially.
That was Coach Alan Seidler of the Philippine women's national football team earlier huddle or media huddle at Olympic Park. For the scenarios, the Philippines must win to advance to the knockout stage set on August 5. Should the Filipinas draw with Norway, they will hope that Switzerland will win in order to advance. Should a draw by the Philippines against Norway and a draw between Switzerland and New Zealand happen, tiebreakers will be determined by a goal difference, goals scored, and per play points. New Zealand currently has the advantage on goal difference over the Philippines. A loss of the upper hand would mean elimination. Switzerland and New Zealand will face off at the same kickoff time, 3 p.m. Philippine time or 5 p.m. local time here. That will also determine the two teams' fate if they will advance to the knockout stage. Switzerland and New Zealand will slug it out in Dunedin. For Radio Pilipinas Go Sports, Aaron Bayato, 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, Auckland, New Zealand.
Football organizations all over the world are recognizing the Philippine women's national team's stellar showing in the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup. Philippine Football Federation President Mariano Nonong Araneta told RP2 Sports that accolades have poured in for the Philippines after its historic win over host New Zealand and a decent showing versus world number 20 Switzerland, with ASEAN, Asian football, and FIFA officials led by FIFA President Gianni Infantino praising the Filipinas.
Siguro itong first victory ng any ASEAN team in the World Cup, you know? So, tuwang-tuwa sila lahat. Tapos pati yung AFC, of course, they're proud of what we have achieved. And sabi nga nila, keep up the good work. Even yung mga taga-FIFA, talagang natuwa sila sa nangyari, you know? Kasi kaya nga medyo dito ngayon sa hotel, medyo may kayabangan tayong kaunti kasi pag nakikita nila, oh, congratulations. Yes, pag hindi tayo na, yes. Parang talo na naman kami. Hindi, ngayon nanalo kami. Hindi ba na, you know, na we can compete with the other countries in the world, you know. Maganda rin yung pinakita ni President Gianni Infantino kasi nung doon kami sa Dunedin, kasama kami, siya talagang bumaba siya doon sa ano natin, kinausap yung mga players natin, encouraging them. Even he talked to Coach Allen for 5 minutes, gano'n. So, maganda naman pinakita niya na he was telling me that wow, you have a good team. Even the FIFA.
Araneta cited the brilliant mentoring of Coach Alan Stajic and the top fitness level of the Filipinas as keys to the milestone achievement.
Good coaching, di ba? Kasi Coach Allen, he knows the tactics, he knows what to play, what kind of game he's supposed to play probably against Norway. So, ang kuwan ko lang is that our team is fit, you know. They're physically and mentally fit. Yun ang ano eh, parang tikita mo naman dun sa Wellington, even the crowd was, you know, I mean, dominantly they were New Zealanders because it was their home team. Pero kahit anong cheer nila dun sa team nila, yung ating team hindi nag-dip yung kanilang performance, tuloy pa rin ang laban nila. So that means they were not just physically fit but mentally fit also. So talagang it was in their mind really to compete and to win. So yun pa rin siguro ang attitude ng ating team eh. Parang sabi nga nila natin noon sa we're not just here to show our faces. We're here to compete and probably win some games. I think Coach Allen has done a good job. Very, very good job.
The PFF head called on all Filipinos for more prayers and support as the Filipinas play their last game in the group stage on Sunday versus Norway.
Laban pa rin, no? Kasi lahat may chance eh. Lahat ng sa kagrupo namin, no? Even Norway, New Zealand, Switzerland, Philippines, we all have a chance to go to the next round. I am just hoping that, God will be with us and, guide the team to victory. And with the support of the Filipino community here, I'm thankful for that, But whatever happens, I'm proud of our team.
That was Philippine Football Federation President Mariano Nonong Araneta. Meanwhile, there will be no rest for Coach Alan Stajic and the Filipinas after the FIFA Women's World Cup. PFF President Nonong Araneta told RP2 Sports that the Filipinas will next shift their attention to the Hangzhou Asian Games and Round 2 of the Asian Olympic qualifiers. Thursday's draw for the September 25 to October 8 Asian Games had the Philippine women's football team drawn in Group E with Myanmar, Hong Kong, and Korea. The Paris Olympics qualifiers, set October 26 to November 1 in Perth, will see the Philippines go up against host Australia, Chinese Taipei, and Iran. The Philippines will wear its puso on its proverbial sleeve as it hosts the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 with the backing of the national government through the Department of Tourism. The DOT will give fans reasons to love the Philippines by marrying world-class basketball with world-class experiences in 15 destinations through travel packages available from August 1 to September 30. While the action gets going in the world meet to be played at the Smart Araneta Coliseum and SM Mall of Asia Arena, tourism experiences to Bacolod, Batangas, Bohol, Boracay, Cavite, Cebu, Davao, Ilocos Norte, and Sur, Iloilo, La Union, Manila, Palawan, Pampanga, and Tagaytay promise to give a taste of colorful and wonderful Filipino culture. This is very much in line with both the FIBA LOC and DOT's aim of sharing the Philippines' love for basketball and for life to the whole world. The Philippine boxing team left Thursday for India for a 3-week training camp in preparation for the Olympic qualifying Asian Games in Hangzhou, China. Tokyo Olympic medalists Carlo Paalam, Nesty Petesio, and their fellow Olympian Irish Magno will banner the 11-man team. They will train at the National Institute of Sports in Patiala and Karnataka, where 6 other countries are also invited, and sparring sessions will be held on a daily basis. Joining them are Ian Clark Bautista, Jun Milardo Ogaire, Mark Ashley Fajardo, Paul Julifer Bascon, Ronald Chavez Jr., Marjon Pianyar, John Nobel Marvin, and Ira Villegas. The team is accompanied by coaches Donald Abnett, Ronald Chavez, Elmer Pamisa, Reynaldo Galido, Mitchell Martinez, and PT Geraldine Pagaduan. They will return to Manila 3rd week of August before undergoing a joint training camp with Australia in Perth on the 1st week of September. Aside from the upcoming FIDE Women's World Cup, woman Grandmaster Janelle May Fraina will also lead the Philippine national women's team to the Asian Games in September in Hangzhou, China. Fraina will be joined by woman international masters Marie Antoinette San Diego, John Jodelyn Fronda, and Bernadette Galas, and WFM Shania May Mendoza in the quadrennial event. National master Nika Juris Nicolas is also part of the team. The women's team under coach Jason Gonzalez had a closed group training session ahead of Janelle's match against Indonesian international master Medina Warda Aulia in the opening round of the FIDE Women's World Cup on July 29. Asian weightlifting champion Vanessa Sarno banners the 11-man Philippine weightlifting team at the 2023 Asian Youth and Junior Weightlifting Championships in New Delhi, India starting today. National coach Patrick Lee shared to RP2 Sports some of their preparation and future plans for Sarno, including their bid to qualify her to the 2024 Paris Olympics. Here is Arian Malyare with a full report.
Aspiring weightlifting Olympian Vanessa Sarno will try to get the needed build-up in this tournament before she competes in the World Championships for the qualifying points to the Aspiring weightlifting Olympian Vanessa Sarno will try to get the needed build-up in this tournament before she competes in the World Championships for the qualifying points to the 2024 Paris Olympics. Sarno, a native of Bohol, will plunge into action in the women's 71-kilogram class at the 2023 Asian Youth and Junior Weightlifting Championships in New Delhi, India. Philippine weightlifting coach Patrick Lee shared to RP2 Sports that this world-level tournament will serve as Sarno's 3rd Olympic qualifier, as she must complete the 5 Olympic requirements to boost her chances of finally making it to the Olympiad.
Nakadalawa na, ma'am, nung last year, yung World Championship last year, ma'am, and yung last May, ma'am, yung sa Korea, which is gumanda ang position niya, ma'am, dahil nag-silver siya doon, ma'am. Sa last May, sa Jinju, Korea, ma'am. Meron pa siyang sasalihang Olympic qualifying sa December, ma'am. Sa Qatar yun, ma'am.
Yes.
Then, isa pa, ma'am, sa next year, ma'am.
Yan.
Baka yung Asian Championship, ma'am, sa Thailand, or yung isang Grand Prix, ma'am, na World Cup, ma'am, na Olympic qualifying din, ma'am.
Sarno, a triple Asian gold medalist last year in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, is accompanied by 6 female and 4 male national weightlifters in India, including Asian Youth Champion Rose Jean Ramos, Jody Peralta, Alexandra Ann Diaz, Rosalinda Faustino, Rose G. Ramos, Angeline Colonia, Prince Kyle De Los Santos, Christian Rodriguez, Aaron Bores, and Albert Ian De Los Santos, who will banner the Philippine tricolors starting July 28 to August 5. Coach Lee expressed his trust to his young wards come the Asian Youth and Junior Championships, which serves as big exposure for the other young lifters.
Preparation na talaga to, ma'am, na for future senior competitions, ma'am. So, definitely kasi, ma'am, itong mga kalaban nila dito, ma'am, yan din lalo yung mga youth, ma'am, makikita sila sa junior, then eventually, kung tuloy-tuloy pa rin, maganda yung training, maganda yung progress ng buhat nila, ma'am. So, hanggang senior, ma'am.
Aside from Coach Lee, other national coaches accompanying the team in India are Coach Julius Naranjo, Allen Diaz, Joe Patrick Diaz, Robert Colonia, and female mentor Kenny K. Rojas. For RP2 Sports, Aryan Malyare, reporting.
Sports Balita, hindi ka mahuhuli, hindi ka matatalo. Sports Roundup. Sa Radyo Pilipinas 2, 918 AM.
3:28 on the clock. Nagpapatuloy tayo sa ating sports news roundup. In bowling, Jordan Dinham and Alexis C are the best-placed Filipino kegglers in the 47th MWA Singha Thailand International Open in Bangkok. Jordan is ranked 5th with 2,283 pinfalls, while C is in 7th place with 2,133 pinfalls after the 10-game series second block of the men's and women's Open qualifying. Other bets, Rachel Leon, Lara Posada Swong, and Grace Gelia are currently 17th, 18th, and 19th, while the rest of the team members are below the top 30 standings. Ivan Malik is in 31st, Zach Ramin in 38th, Dayan Coronacion in 39th, Patrick Nuki in 40th, and Merwin Tan in 68th. Only the top 30 bowlers after the third block will qualify for the second round. In tennis, SEA Games doubles gold medalist Francis Casey Alcantara and Fa Jing Sun cruise to the men's doubles semifinals of the Open Castilla y Leon in Segovia, Spain. The unseeded Filipino-Chinese tandem upset top seeds Aisam ul Haq Qureshi of Pakistan and Divi Sharan of India 6-4 and 6-3. Up next for Nino and Fa Jing will be Daniel Kokierman of Israel and Adria Soriano Barrera of Colombia. In the opening round, Alcantara and Sun won over the wild card pair from Spain. Alcantara is looking for his fourth doubles title of the season after wins in ITF Challengers in India, Indonesia, and Thailand. Yuka Saso stands in contention for another major after a 4-under-67 at the Amundi Evian Championships in France. The Filipina-Japanese champion in the 2021 US Open recorded a bogey-free round that included 4 birdies that put her 3 strokes behind leader Paula Reto of South Africa. Saso, ranked 27 in the world, is fresh from a second-place finish at the recent major, the Women's PGA Championship. The Evian Championships, the fourth of 5 ladies' majors, has a total purse of $6.5 million, with $1 million going to the winner. The Philippines seeks to get better from its first leg futility in the Southeast Asia Volleyball League when it competes in the second leg of the inaugural regional Spike Fest at the Santa Rosa Sports Complex in Laguna. Led by veteran duo of Mark Espejo and Brian Bagunas, plus Filipino-American power hitter Steven Rotter, the Filipinos will begin their podium quest against Thailand at 7 p.m. Vietnam and Indonesia opened the hostilities in their 4 p.m. face-off. The Philippines' next task is reigning SEA Games champion and first leg winner Indonesia on Saturday and SEA Games bronze medalist Vietnam on Sunday, capping off the 3-day event. The Philippines went winless and failed to bag any medal during the CV League first leg in Jakarta. Japanese team Kurashiki Ablaze set up a title duel against defending champion Creamline Cool Smashers as the Ablaze fended off the PLDT high-speed hitters 25-13, 23-25, 25-14, and 25-23 in the PVL 2023 Invitational Conference semifinals on Thursday at the Phil Sports Arena. But Kurashiki and Creamline, which are both unbeaten, will meet first today at 6:30 p.m. to close out their semis phase assignments. This will serve as a prelude to their much-awaited championship clash on Sunday, July 30. Asaka Tamaru took charge for Kurashiki with 28 attacks and 2 blocks to finish with 30 points as the Japanese regrouped after losing the second set. Honey Royce Tubino had a team-high 23 markers for PLDT, whose chances of getting a shot for third place were put in limbo. Meanwhile, Cesc Molina scored 19 points while Jel Cayuna drew 23 excellent sets to help Signal secure a slot for the battle for bronze with a 25-13, 25-15, 25-20 victory over Kin Bak Bak Ni of Vietnam. The HD Spikers leveled with PLDT at number 3 with the same 2-3 records. But due to higher tiebreak score, Signal advanced to the bronze medal match also slated 2 days from now. F2 Logistics, on the other hand, will try to get into the picture and face Signal. The Cargo Movers could only make the battle for third if they beat Kin Bak Bak Ni at 4 p.m. today. We go to boxing. Marlon Tapales remains unfazed about Naoya Inoue's destructive power and feels confident of an upset win over the Japanese monster. WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight title holder Tapales and newly crowned WBO and WBC champion Inoue are expected to meet inside the ring later this year to determine the one true king of the 122-pound division. JC Manangkil of Sanman Boxing told Philippine news outlets that Tapales described Inoue as being very good after watching the monster destroy Stephen Fulton in 8 rounds last Tuesday ringside at the Ariake Arena in Tokyo. Manangkil said Tapales found some weaknesses on Inoue's game which they hope to take advantage of. Manangkil added international matchmaker and MP Promotions President Sean Gibbons is currently negotiating for the fight, which could happen in December. Rain or Shine seems to have already hit its target and got a welcome bonus to boot on the penultimate game day of the PBA on tour. The Elasto Painters remain determined to continue reaping the fruits of their hard labor when they clash with a Meralco Bolts crew, also aiming to finish strong at the 5 p.m. game today at the Inares Center in Pasig. Should Rain or Shine crack or rack up a third straight win and finish at 9-2, it would formally finish at second place behind undefeated Magnolia. Meralco, which has a current 6-4 record, could wind up as high as third should they rediscover their groove and bounce back from a loss to Blackwater. Meanwhile, Converge and Northport fight for a place in the upper half of the chart as they duke it out in their final outing slated at 7:30 in the evening. Both the Fiber Xers and the Batang Pierre carry 5-5 records. For the final PBA on tour games on Sunday, Barangay Ginebra and NLEX also fight for a spot in the top 6 as they face off in the closing match after Blackwater and TNT hope to finish with a win. Para shot put and standing long jump will serve as the first medal events in this year's 63rd edition of the Palarong Pambansa, scheduled on the morning of July 31 at the Phil Sports Complex in Pasig City. All categories in shot put and standing long jump for visually impaired will begin on Monday starting at 8 o'clock until 12 noon at the Phil Sports Track and Field Oval, a sports facility that is fully operated by the Philippine Sports Commission. This is ahead of the formal opening ceremonies of the 2023 Palarong Pambansa, set at 5 p.m. in Marikina Sports Complex, wherein His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is expected to arrive and grace the occasion. Meanwhile, other activities like the arrival of participants and screening of athletes have already taken place this week. The registration and refresher course for referees and technical officials is scheduled on Saturday, July 29, while Solidarity Meetings is set July 30. This will be the resumption of the annual Palarong Pambansa since the COVID-19 pandemic and the first hosting of Marikina City, wherein over 9,000 elementary and secondary student athletes from 17 regional athletic associations nationwide will participate in 34 sports and 1,573 events to be played from July 29 until August 5 in Marikina. 3:36 in the afternoon. Magbabalik tayo dito sa Sports News Roundup after this quick break.
Mulat sa Estado ng Bayan, the second State of the Nation Address of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
While the global prospects were bleak, our economy posted a 7.6% growth in 2022, our highest growth rate in 46 years. Tulad ng ating ipinagpatuloy natin ang reformang pansakahan. Mahalagang haligi ito ng sektor ng agrikultura na ating inaayos. Our 8.3 trillion peso Build Better More program is currently in progress and being vigorously implemented. The Matatag agenda for basic education has been launched, focusing on relevance of curriculum, rapid and responsive delivery, and the welfare of both learners and teachers. Digitalization will support the government's data-driven and science-based planning and decision-making. It is the greatest, most powerful tool, not just to improve the ease of doing business, but also against many forms of graft and corruption. We are now refocusing our health priorities, applying the lessons learned from the pandemic and addressing the weaknesses that it has exposed. Healthier communities and lifestyle are advocacy. With this in my heart, I know that the state of the nation is sound and is improving. Dumating na po ang bagong Pilipinas.
Sona 2023, the second State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. A Radyo Pilipinas special coverage.
Ipaalala natin sa bawat isa ang kahalagahan ng kalusugan, alagaan ang ating katawan at isip sa pamamagitan ng active lifestyle at wastong nutrisyon. Sa maliit na paraan, maaari tayong magsimula by adding fruits and vegetables sa ating daily diet, pag-inom ng sapat na tubig araw-araw at simple exercise under the morning sun. Ingatan natin ang ating mga sarili at maging malusog na mamamayan, hindi lang ngayong buwan ng nutrisyon kundi para sa buong taon. Isang mensahe ngayong Nutrition Month mula sa PBS, Radyo Pilipinas at ng himpilang ito.
Detalye ng mga naganap na sports matchups. Sino ang nanguna? Sino ang mas nanaig? Ating alamin dito sa Sports Roundup sa Radyo Pilipinas 2, 918 AM.
We are back dito po sa Sports News Roundup sa RP2 Sports, 3:38 ang ating oras. In today's action at the FIFA Women's World Cup, Argentina came from 2 goals down to draw with South Africa and denied them a first-ever Women's World Cup victory in a pulsating encounter in Dunedin. Argentina trailed 2-0 until the 74th minute when they mounted a remarkable comeback. Knowing defeat would take them to the brink of elimination, Argentina threw everything at Desiree Ellis' side in a second-half comeback. Substitute Romina Nunes headed in their second after a superb half volley from Sofia Braun had stunned South Africa. Linda Moltalo and Tembi Kigatlana had earlier put South Africa 2-0 up. It was South Africa's first point at a Women's World Cup, but for large parts of the game, it looked set for a historic win. Meanwhile, Nigeria came from behind to beat Australia and leave the co-hosts facing a battle to qualify for the last 16. Australia scored first when Emily Van Egmond converted Caitlin Ford's pass, but Nigeria equalized soon afterwards with Uchenna Kanu's calm finish before Osinachi Ohale's header made it 2-1. Asisat Oshoala scored after a mix-up between Australia's Alana Kennedy and Mackenzie Arnold, and Nigeria held on despite Kennedy scoring late on. Nigeria moved on top of Group B, level with Canada on 4 points, while Australia is a point behind before the last matches in the section on Monday. Australia faces Olympic champion Canada in Melbourne and may need a victory to guarantee a place in the knockout stages, while Nigeria play already eliminated Republic of Ireland at the same time in Brisbane. Still at the FIFA Women's World Cup, Portugal set up a face-off with reigning champion United States for a Women's World Cup last 16 spot by winning impressively against Vietnam 2-0 at Waikato Stadium in Hamilton, New Zealand. The debutants got a maiden victory via their first World Cup goals scored by Telma Encarnação and Kika Nazareth. Portugal will progress to the knockout stage if it caused a giant upset and beat 4-time winner the USA. Vietnam will be eliminated from the World Cup after this loss. Portugal plays the US in their final Group E match on Tuesday, while Vietnam will seek its first World Cup point and goal against the Netherlands at the same time. In tennis, top seed Casper Ruud fought back after being destroyed in the first set to beat Christian Garin, while Daniel Altmaier upset Andrei Rublev in the second round of the Hamburg Open. French Open runner-up Ruud came back to win 1-6, 6-2, and 6-2 for a place in the quarterfinals, facing 19-year-old French player Arthur Fils. Second-seeded Rublev was upset 6-2, 6-2 by Altmaier. Altmaier will face Zhang Zicheng for a place in the semifinals. Last year's Hamburg winner Lorenzo Musetti scored a 3-6, 6-2, and 6-4 win over Joseph Kovalik. In the women's side, Bernarda Pera, the defending champion, was upset by Russian Diana Schneider 6-1, 2-6, and 6-4. Schneider will face up-and-coming German Noma Noha Akugwe next after the 19-year-old advanced to the semi-finals in her first WTA Tour event. Still in tennis, world number 3 Daniil Medvedev and Australia's Nick Kyrgios have withdrawn from the US Open tune-up tournament in Washington due to injury. Medvedev, who won the US Open in 2021, has 5 titles this year with triumphs in Rotterdam, Doha, Dubai, Miami, and Rome. The 27-year-old Russian reached the Wimbledon semifinals earlier this month, losing to eventual champion Carlos Alcaraz. Defending Washington champion Kyrgios has missed every Grand Slam this year due to injuries to his knee, foot, and wrist. He has made it onto the court only once, losing in straight sets at the Stuttgart Open in June. The 28-year-old also won the Washington title in 2019 after beating Medvedev in the final. This year's tournament runs from July 31 to August 6. In women's cycling, Ricarda Bauernfeind became the youngest stage winner at the Tour de France Femme with a breakaway victory on Stage 5. The 23-year-old German powered away in the closing stages of the 126.5-kilometer sprint to finish 22 seconds ahead of her rivals. Marlon Russer of SD Works outsprinted Movistar's Lippert to take second place. Lotte Kopecky kept the overall lead after placing fourth, 32 seconds behind Bauernfeind. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford turned the heat up a notch as both fighters issued their final statements on Friday before their gloves do the talking this weekend at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Buoyed by their respective fan base, Spence asked his supporters to bring some seasoning for a Crawford boil, while Crawford invited everyone to a fish fry. WBC, WBA, and IBF welterweight champion Spence claimed he is the more superior boxer over Crawford, who will put his WBO belt on the line. Nebraska's Crawford promptly disagreed, saying everything about him is better than Spence, as he has never had a close fight. The 33-year-old Spence, who now fights out of DeSoto, Texas, promised to show Crawford his defense, offense, and stamina in their highly anticipated showdown. In response, Crawford said he will make Spence realize his mistake of underestimating him. While Spence promised to knock out his opponent, the 35-year-old Crawford cited that he always go in looking for the win, but will be ready to put his rival out once he gets out of line. The winner of the Spence-Crawford mega fight will be crowned as the first undisputed 147-pound champion in the four-belt era. A victory for Spence or for Crawford will also make him the first male boxer to win all 4 world titles in 2 weight divisions. Dota 2 squad Talon Esports, the only Southeast Asia representative in the Riyadh Masters 2023, failed to advance to the upper bracket final after losing to Team Liquid of Europe 1-2. Talon had a slight advantage early in Game 1 with their team rotations before Team Liquid pursued the top lane to win the match. It was a close battle in the second game until Talon executed a Roshan clash at the 44th minute to wipe out Liquid 37-25, aided by team captain and off-laner Anucha Jabs Jirwong on Terror Blade, tallying 6 kills and 27 assists against 4 deaths. Talon continued their dominance in the third match, securing kills around the map. But Liquid's Ludwig Zai Wahlberg led a split push that pushed the European side to victory and a spot in the upper bracket final. The Swedish offlaner posted 4 kills and 7 assists against 8 deaths on Brood Mother. Talon is now relegated to the losers bracket quarterfinals and will take on the winner between Team Aster of China and 9 Pandas of Russia on Saturday. And now here is our feature about the FIFA Women's World Cup. The current trophy was designed in 1998 for the 1999 tournament and takes the form of a spiral band enclosing a football at the top that aims to capture the athleticism, dynamism, and elegance of international women's football. In the 2010s, it was fitted with a cone-shaped base. Underneath the base, the name of each of the tournament's previous winners is engraved. The trophy is made of sterling silver, clad in 23-karat yellow and white gold. At dyan po nagtatapos ang ating Sports News Roundup this Friday afternoon. Para sa iba pang sports updates, follow us sa ating official social media channels. Facebook.com/RPDOS918 and on Twitter at RPDOS918. 3:47 Philippine Standard Time. Marami pong salamat sa inyong pagtutok sa ating programa. Hanggang sa muli, ako po si John Mogol. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat.